Good morning, children of God.
Good morning.
Ooh, what a great day. 23rd of November, working on Thanksgiving. But today, let's start in prayer. Loving Father, Mother God, we take this moment to acknowledge your presence moving in and through us. We take this moment to choose to be open, to be receptive, to be responsive to your instruction and guidance. And we give thanks for the opportunity to come together. To worship, to sing, to pray from the Christ of us. And so we move forward this day in the name, in the nature, and in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. I'm glad you're all here this morning, because here at Christ Unity, our guests are always welcome, whether they're here or if they're on the internet. We'd like to acknowledge our guests as first-timers, because after that we hope you will feel at home with our church family. For all those who are online, please drop us a note, and for those here in the chapel, please stay following the service for fellowship so we get to know you better. If this is your first time at Christ Unity Church, would you raise your hand so our ushers can give you a packet? There's one right there. Good. For those who are online, you can use the link of the page you are viewing, where you're viewing this service, of course. And thank you for coming, and bless you, for you bless us with your presence. Now is the time for the reading of the daily word, and I'm privileged to be able to do that for you this Sunday. The subject is family. The affirmation says, "We are one family of God, rejoicing in sacred kinship." We are united by birth or adoption, by marriage or inclusion. As friends, we are family. And just as important, as family members, we are friends. What really defines us that we are all one family of God. As we gather throughout the holidays and holy days in fellowship and celebration, in prayer and in communion, we bring the best to one another, and we bring out the best in one another. Our best is being the love of God in expression. We are caring and supportive, no matter how far apart we may be. In our prayer times, we affirm the life, order, prosperity, and peace that God has created us to have, and to have abundantly. We are one family of God, rejoicing in sacred kinship. The Bible reading is from Matthew 25:40. "And the king will answer them, 'Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me.'"
Part of being more like peace, more like joy, more like love, more like God, is to come from the truth of you, that place in consciousness where there is never a question nor is there a doubt. And to go to that place, we take time for prayer and meditation, and we start with, "I am." Steve? in this holy moment, I rest in that thought. I am. I am peace. I am joy. I am laughter. I am love. And as I breathe, and rest in the stillness, I move to that place in consciousness that is my inner chamber, my secret place. It is that place where no doubt exists, for I know that the lesson Jesus taught is the truth for me. Father and I are one. And I breathe that thought. Stillness, I move to the edge of the silence. For it is in the silence that I do my work. From this place in consciousness, I know that that which is mine in this moment is given freely. Blessed by it, and because of it, and I immerse myself in this thought and in this feeling, in this word, whichever it may be for you. For that which I have received, I now give. I allow it to flow through me. Into this now, to this when, to this room, where it joins with other thought of like mind. It grows in strength and in power. And moves from this place into our community, wherever that may be this day, into our world, into our universe. with each breath I take, this flow continues. And as I participate, I know that somewhere, when someone says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or in this moment, that which you have sent, peace, love, harmony, order, is exactly what I needed this day. And I'm grateful. And that which I have been given, I freely give. And that gift returns to you, and the circle is complete. And now, holding on to this wonder, to this fulfilled healing, gently, easily, effortlessly, I bring my attention back to this now, to this room, to this when. From my heart, I pray as Jesus, my elder brother, has taught me, in this manner. because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks. Give One of the blessings that often come disguised in other forms are people around you who love you a lot. And learning to be grateful is a really important thing to do. Now, how many of you think you know what grateful means? Now, I said think on purpose, okay? Because it's not necessarily the way we use it, according to our brother Webster, who suggests that gratitude, as an example, is an attitude of being thankful. So being grateful is an attitude of what? Being thankful. Now, maybe it's just me, but it seems to me that I can be profound in my thanks and not have a new word for that. But we created one. It's called grateful. And as I was playing with this, I thought to myself, you know how strange it is? We just make stuff up as we go along. And here's a real good one. Think about this. Break this one down. An attitude of gratitude. Everybody heard that one? Okay, now here's what that means. An attitude of being thankful. Now that makes absolutely zero sense, right? But the words flow nice. Okay? And that's what we do sometimes, is we say things because the words flow nice. And it's not necessarily what we mean. And sometimes we get moving so quickly that our brain's about 2.5 steps ahead of your mouth. Which leads to, I am grateful. I am grateful for my aunts, Annie Ainsworth and Ann Gabrielli, who remind me when my mouth hasn't caught up to where my head is. As an example, last week, I mentioned that we pray to God in secret and God gives in secret. Oops, and Ann sat back over and her head was going like that. No, Rob, you got it backwards, pal. You pray in secret, reward openly is what the verse is. Okay. I'm grateful that these keep me in line. And after service frequently come to me and say, what do you really mean? And then lay out what it was I thought I said. Huh? I'm grateful for that. Because it reminds me of our connection. Reminds me that I don't have to know it all. Thank God. I just need to be me in the moment. Right? I'm grateful for this man and the music he brings to this ministry. I'm grateful because I sing tenor. 10 or 12 miles down the road. And on Sunday I sing solo. So low you can't hear me. Right? And Steve knows this and plays louder. I'm grateful because with his leadership, this choir is growing with their attitudes of thankfulness. It's growing. So they bring to this ministry a wonderful feeling, a vibration over and above all the other things we do here. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the empty chairs, for I know they will be filled. I'm grateful for Bill and Donna Hunt, and Sue, and Bob and Diane, and Bertie, and everybody else. If I missed you, Mary Lucido, I saw her hiding in the back there. You thought you could duck down, not working, okay? And Henry, and all of those who serve as greeters and ushers. You know the most important person in a Sunday service is? Anybody want to take a wild stab in the dark? The most important person in a Sunday service. It's your greeter. It's the person who meets you at the door with a smile from their heart that invites you to come in and play with us. Now, our job is to follow up on that, which we do. Right? And for that, I'm grateful. Okay? Again, another opportunity to allow people, you, to express, to allow yourself to be of service. I'm grateful for Alita, and for Steve, and for Mary, and for Ken Lemke, who's out of town today, for serving as your board members, and for Shirley Dempsey, who is a past member, and for Diane Koash, who is a past member, and for anybody else I missed who is a past member. I'm grateful for all of you, for the work that you have done to get us to where we are today. See, sometimes when we look at what's going on in our world, it's really easy to point fingers and say, this was wrong, that was wrong, the other thing was wrong. No, these people don't do that. They've learned to say, what were we doing well, and how can we improve on that? And for that, I'm grateful. And this four particularly, and the four before, who just recently served, are the ones that put the cement blocks to my shoes. And for that, I am grateful. See, for me, it'd be really easy to float away. And I have to remind myself to do what was spoken of Charles Fillmore, and that is to keep my feet firmly planted in the ground while my head is in the clouds. So I'm in really good company, I think. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, for you are where you need to be this morning. I'm grateful for each and every one who are on the road today, and we send them our prayers and our blessings to be with their family, wherever that might be. I know we have folks traveling. But the blessed thing for me is that regardless of where my family is, I am there. And that's why we work with I Am. Because I want you to get into your heart this notion that no matter where you are never, ever, ever, never, ever alone. You are all one. So if you're feeling lonely, shift it around. I am grateful. Here's the other thing that happens when you begin to move into that place in consciousness. Wonderful things happen for you. Amazing things happen. Now, I have to preface this by saying that living from that place is a blessing for you and a giant pain in the patootie for everybody around that does not yet understand living from the source. Too many of us are still living from the resource. Right? This is a resource, and that's a resource, and the other's a resource. But no. I need to live from the source. And when I do, everything comes together. This morning I was out sweeping leaves. I got off the front porch. And the question was, oh, you've got the sweeping duty. And I said, and the light bulbs? And whatever else needs to be done, as long as it is for me to do, I will do it. And I will step out in it. And for the opportunity to do that, I'm grateful. You see how this works together? Now, I could change the word thankful for everywhere I use the word grateful and mean it from my heart. Right? That's what brings to me what I want in my life. And I've had so many examples in my lifetime where that has worked so well. A number of years ago, when I was still in Nevada, I was living in a wonderful home that when the wind blew, the curtains on the inside blew too. It was out in a valley which in that day had nobody in it of repute. All us ne'er-do-wells lived out there. But it was cheap. And that's what I needed. And as I was raising my family, the discussion came about that we needed to move from this place. We needed to have a little better standing in the community. And I'm kind of an easy guy. I went, oh, okay. I kind of like the house, but oh well. You know, but I don't like when the wind blew that the inside drapes moved. And in Nevada, in the wintertime, when the drapes move, that's cold air. And in the summertime, it's unconditioned air. And it was in a little valley, and it was very hot out there. There are some folks who suggested that it's just a precursor for what's to come for me later in life. Or afterlife. Not true, but that's okay. But it got to a very human place that while we were thankful to be in it, it got to the point where I can't hardly stand this. I just don't know what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. We need to get out of here. This place really... Okay? So we got into something that we needed, and then immediately started to complain about it. Now, when I say immediate, it took a while. Okay? And finally, I raised my hand about as high as I could and used a tone of voice designed to bring clouds and rain and said, stop this now. Stop this now. Until we can love and be thankful and be grateful for what we have, we will have nothing else. No matter what it looks like. I don't care if it's in the worst valley in the whole state of Nevada. I don't care whether when the sun shines and the wind blows, you must be thankful for what you have now. And so, I want to try something. Now, when you're working with somebody who doesn't want to try, this doesn't work really well, but I was working with somebody who really wanted to try. After all, nothing else was working, this might. And that's the attitude with which I shared this. For the next 7 days, we are going to bless and love this place. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Agreed? Yes. But it started with okay? All right. Here's the result. In that 7-day period, the house we were in came up for sold because it was up for sale. The house we wanted came on the market, and the people who owned it had a place that they wanted. And in 7 days, all 3 deals came together. All 3 came together. When one of the 3 would say, I love where I am. I'm thankful for what I have. And we went from 600 square foot out in the middle of the desert in a 1-bedroom house with a 25-gallon hot water heater and 3 children to a 2,400 square foot tri-level home with a huge backyard in a great neighborhood. And we did it in 7 days with one change of attitude. What in your life needs a gratitude fix today? What in your life needs a I love you just where I am? I am so grateful and so happy for where I am right now. Now, a lot of people, when you hear that for the very first time, you say, wait a minute, that's settling for. And I'm not talking about settling for. No. I'm not settling for anything. I'm being thankful for what is demonstrated in my world today. I'm being grateful for the opportunity to step out in the truth of me and increase my opulence and increase my abundance. I'm in really good company when I do that. What would your world look like if you took this on as your purpose? My purpose is really, really very, very simple. I have come that you might have life and have it abundantly. What if you would take that on for your purpose beginning today? Ooh, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel wonderful? It can be. Or not. Right? That's the joy of it and the pain of it at the same time, of this thing we call life, is knowing that I can make the choice and be silly enough not to make it anyway. But to choose it. And to find how simple it is. And what comes back. I played with this one a lot. I'm going to play with it some more because I think it's very, very, very important. And I think sometimes we miss it. Before you ask, I have answered. True? Okay. Before you ask, you have received. So your job, once you've received, is to do what? Give. Give. I've already received. Now give. Okay. What have you received this morning? How many of you received a little love this morning? How about joy? Smile or two? What will you give away today? How about a little love? A little joy? A smile or two? Will your world change when you do this? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it begins from inside. Begin it this way. Take this on as a truth for you. I am grateful. Together? I am grateful from my heart. I am grateful. Your world just changed. And there's more change to come. When you will step out in the truth of you. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate your presence. I behold the Christ in you. Make that your Thanksgiving prayer this week. Bring it on in here. Right in here. Right in here. Right in here. Now you can open it up because you have to be right here in the middle. Okay, turn it around. Take turn and turn it everybody around so everybody can see it. There you go. Okay? And this is a friendship quilt that our kids have been working on. And they have a card for Phyllis. Tatiana, you want to take that to Phyllis up there in the front? That's right. So a little bit of love and a lot of expertise we shared with one another. Now, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ready? Okay, now wait a minute before you go away. I get another I am grateful thing. I am grateful that this one stood up and said, I want to play. Thank you, George.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the Internet at www.unitymedford.org.